So as I recall, we're on the last question, which was, you guys both said that you felt your customers were between 1 and 2, roughly, on a digital maturity scale. And one of my theses, because I really love startups, is that when you use a startup, that there's a sort of, hopefully in the customer's mind, an epiphany, or maybe it's just a slow wave where they realize, wow, if I had data governance, if I had DevOps, if I really operated like a 21st century company, I'll get 21st century results. Are you seeing that with Portainer when customers start using it?
So I think the big difference from when an enterprise engages with and purchases the services or product of a startup, it's actually a slightly different relationship. It's a bit cliche to say that it's a partnership as opposed to a supplier customer
Right.
perspective, but um, with a smaller organization, every customer is actually important. It's not just one customer of 100,000 customers, or
Mm.
it's one customer of probably a thousand, right? It's a much smaller niche engagement, and so ordinarily there's significantly more engagement and involvement. So we have very much a vested interest in ensuring the outcome for the customer is positive, so the project is a success. They expand their footprint with us. They renew. They talk
Mm.
about us in a positive way. We have far more at risk, and therefore we work much harder to ensure they're successful. It's not simply a transaction and move on. So I think that helps. I think that helps enterprises a lot.
And does the customer have an epiphany and saying, well, wow, this DevOps stuff, there's something to it, and maybe there's other things I can do to transform and become.
They're pretty receptive to ideas.
That's
Absolutely,
great.
yeah.
How about in your case?
For us, it's been, starts pretty simple because we're browser based. We basically democratize data across the organization, across lines, across sites, and the federation cluster up at corporate headquarters. So suddenly the whole entire organization can see this data
Mm.
they never could see before. So it really adds a lot of value. I think that's the initial. It happens really fast. And I
That's
think
awesome.
in terms of some of the competitor products out there, to get to things that they need, there's a huge barrier to. For example, uh, module with a competitor, they wanted $100,000 for the module on the team on site for a year. We came on site, got it done in 2 weeks. So that's an aha moment.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely the how fast you guys can move is also that major differentiator, right? Because the older ones, they're just they get paid by the hour. Well, it's been really wonderful learning about Portainer and learning about that.
Well, this is an example of what Prove It is all about. Talking to Neil and like, oh, we can tell from the conversation here that we're going to have a chat later.
There's
Yeah.
synergies for sure.
That's excellent. And again, thanks to everybody in Prove It. We'll be back in a moment with a couple more startups. And thanks a lot. Thanks very
Thank
much
you.
to Neil, and thanks to very
It's been a
much to
pleasure.
James.
Thank you.
And we'll be